Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome everybody to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Kush. I forgot today to go live on Facebook and Instagram, so it's a YouTube party, baby. YouTube party! Only YouTube. Well, I think Kick and Rumble, Kick and Twitch. I think we're good on Kick and Twitch. We got a lot to get done tonight, guys. We are making a fizz. We are in the middle of the fall of fizz. In fact, we are at the earlier stages. We are in stage 1 of the fall of fizz, and thus we are going to go back through a little bit of history and find out a little bit of fizz, and then fizztory. How have we not thought about this? We're going to go back into fizztory. You put a camera on you, and suddenly now you got all the great ideas. We're going to go back into fizztory, and we're going to talk a little bit about Charles H. Baker, the Strangers Club, etc. That's basically all we're going to talk about. But we're also going to absolutely solve an issue. I want to say so bad that I will abide by what everybody else thinks in this. But there has been a, let's say a disagreement between myself and my producer for many, I mean, probably decades. We didn't know about this disagreement until recently about the Bird of Paradise. So I'm going to bring examples. I am going to litigate the case as well as I can. I assume my producer will jump in the chat and let you all know what she thinks about this whole thing, but we are going to solve this tonight. We're going to make a drink first. So without further ado, let me say hello to the people. Now, I know that our good friend Shawnee Panda Baker was here early. Good evening. But unfortunately, if you get here too early, I don't see what you are saying because it shows up in a different chat. We don't need to worry about that too much. Tiki Tom was answering his question. Tiki Tom, I don't think, maybe he was. Maybe Tiki Tom was trolling. Maybe he just showed up. He's like, Bird of Paradise? Nope. Nope. I don't think that's what Tiki Tom was saying. I think he was commenting on Shawnee Panda Baker, saying, hey, I'm here a little early. Is it too early? But we don't know. Very happy Tiki Tuesday to you as well, Tiki Tom. We love having you back. Speaking of back, here is Bon Bon. She is also back. We got the full cast of crew. We got the whole character log here, guys. We have everybody signed in and ready to go. We will put on a full-on, this is the kind of Broadway show you want to show up to. No understudies tonight. All right? We got the real Bon Bon. We got, gosh, I wish I could name one Broadway actor. Who wrote Hamilton? Don't worry about it. We got him playing Hamilton tonight. That's Bon Bon. DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Kush-Tucky Derby. Good to see ya. Bon Bon is making the little bourbon pineapple sour. Love that. We're probably gonna have to do a spring of sour at some point. Let's get through the fall of fizz first. Here's Kyle. Now I'm sure Kyle is gonna have to sit next to. Sometimes Kyle and Jen, my producer, sit next to each other, and I know that Jen has some. Oh dang, Jen has some pretty big opinions on this topic today. So hopefully Kyle will be able to calm her down. Scotty DeBoy is here. Good to see you, Scotty DeBoy. Stephanie Husband missed everybody. We all missed everybody. But we're all here now. We missed Saturday, but anchor down. Let's anchor down, everybody. I don't know what that means. Made a cherry bourbon delight. Oh my gosh, what a drink. Never heard of it. We are going to make one of my favorite fizzes here very soon called the Cherry Bounce. Don't go looking into it. It's one of my favorites. I love it. 70 Husband had a big college football weekend. We are Vanderbilt alums. Vanderbilt alums. I was waiting to find one of you guys. Congratulations. I don't really want to talk about, upset Saturday. I don't really want to talk about it, but I know a lot of people do. Congratulations to Vanderbilt beating #1 Alabama. Woo! That was a big game. Let's see, who else do we got? Oh, is that what? Oh, I guess that's what anchor down was. Is that what you say? Is that what Vanderbilt says? Anchor down. Anchor down. That's pretty darn cool. Hey-o to Davey Virtue. Good to see you. This is the first trimester of the fall of Fizz. Yes, we will have a very, very bubbly baby by the end of this, hopefully. Hello to Paul. Salut à toi. Good to you as well. Cocktail Lulu. Good to see you. Cocktail Lulu's ready to go. We got Roger G here. Also, is it too early to say something? Yes, this is what he said earlier. And that was the question. Wait, is Dr. Taco here? I didn't hear Dr. Taco. Speak up, Dr. Taco. We're asking him for him. Can't see him. I introduced Jen to people as your producer. I love that. When are you seeing Jen? When are you introducing her to people? We sometimes live busy lives. Oregon is number 3. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Go Oregon. Oh, I can't agree with that totally. But I'm fine. I guess, you know, I will always have love in my heart for the old Pac-12. They were my team or my conference for many years. For those of you who don't know, I did do 1 semester at the Arizona State University. It seems like heaven is easier to get into there than Arizona State. So I do have a little love for all Pac-12 teams, except for UCLA. They can absolutely walk right off of a cliff. Do not care for UCLA, but that's how that goes. This cocktail is old, my friends, but it often gets wrapped right back into our old Tiki formula. People will often see this cocktail. It has all the great aspects that a Tiki cocktail would have. In fact, it's even from right about that latitude. Longitude? Longitude. Latitude. Latitude. About that latitude. However, it is not, this cocktail did not come from a Caribbean island. No. Stop thinking that. I know, forget everything you've thought about the Bird of Paradise Fizz. All right, if you've been thinking this comes from a Caribbean island, stop thinking that. Think something else. It actually comes from a place called Panama. Panama. A man, a plan, a canal, Panama. That is one of the greater, what do you call those? Where you read them both forward and backwards. Kind of a fun situation there. Anyway, our good friend of the bar, died well before I was born, and probably before a lot of you were born. A guy named Charles H. Baker wrote a book called A Gentleman's Companion. In this book, basically, he's flexing on us. He is talking about all the amazing trips that he is taking, all the ways that he is able to travel the world, seeing new things, meeting new people, but most of all, trying new drinks. Charles H. Baker was able to put together kind of a fun travel blog in book form. I guess you would call that just a travel book, like a travel memoir. And in that, he wrote a number of great recipes in there that he had found. I don't think Charles H. Baker's creating a ton of cocktails. I don't know. But he certainly was finding them. And one of them he found when he got down to a place called the Strangers Club. The Strangers Club in Panama, in Colón, Panama. He found this one, and it was called the Bird of Paradise Fizz. I don't think he got the exact recipe from the bartender, but he sort of figured it out. He sort of sussed it out. And so thus, a lot of us have been making this cocktail for a while based on, first of all, our knowledge of how fizzes work, and also the sparse writings on this cocktail from Charles H. Baker. That's what we're up to. Very simple cocktail. And then I do want to say we are going to get into this guy right here. We're going to get into this very soon. This is, of course, a Bird of Paradise. I want you all to stare at this image real quick. It is called a Bird of Paradise. I just want to see what everybody thinks about this very long-standing disagreement that my producer and I have had about this show, about that picture. Let's get into it. We're going to reach in here. We're going to grab one of these because we are going to start. We're shaking this cocktail. This is a fizz. And in fizz, we often start with sour. That's a good way to remember what a fizz do. It's not always, not all fizzes. Not all fizzes is the way it is, but we are going to get into this by starting with a sour. So grab your lime. This is sort of a break from the normal fizz. A lot of fizzes that we see usually have lemon. We're going to slice this right here. We're going to get as much of this lime apart from itself as we can. We are looking for approximately 1 ounce of lime juice. Now, if you can't do approximately 1 ounce of lime juice just in your head, I'd say measure it. But we're going to squeeze anyway. Squeeze this. Nice and squeezy. Because we're serving this without any ice, we're not going to be dropping in the limes. You know what? We're going to try it. Drop in the spent limes. Let's get some lime feeling in here. Drop that in here. Drop that in here. We'll just do a strain. There we go. There we go. Squeeze this. We're looking for 1 ounce out of 1 lime. So normally we would not do this, but today we are going to. We are going to squeeze this. Bon Bon is offering up. I love that my show is becoming tradio. I do enjoy that. If any of you need a Bird of Paradise plant, Bon Bon has one. I personally would love a Bird of Paradise plant. Unfortunately, if I were to have a Bird of Paradise plant, I would never be able to get away from this disagreement. Every time I would look at that plant, I would say, oh, I disagree. I disagree. So, Bon Bon, I do not want one. Thank you, but somebody might. We're going to do a little bit more lime in here. There we go. I just took a look at it. It didn't look like that was 1 full ounce, so we're going to throw a full ounce in there. There we go. That's pretty close. Okay. Bling. Let's grab our... Oh, this is what I did today, in case you were wondering what I did all day, what I was so busy with that I forgot to put the show on Facebook and on Instagram. I was making syrup. This is raspberry syrup. Just raspberry syrup. All you got to do, the way that I make mine, a lot of people get confused. They say, my raspberry syrup doesn't look at all like that. My raspberry syrup is all cloudy all the way through here. 2 tricks, tips and tricks. In order to get the clearest raspberry syrup, which is also going to have less things for the raspberry syrup to go bad with, something to think about. Sugar is a preservative, and if you were able to take out as much raspberry as you can, you should be able to get this to stick around a little longer if you can get it to be nice and clear. 2 things you can do. First, when the raspberry and all that stuff is boiling, scrape the sides of the pot where all of the white stuff, you'll see when you're doing this, you'll know what I'm talking about, where all the basically the pink scum goes. Get all that off of there. And also just randomly take a slotted spoon, or even better yet, a tea strainer, scrape it through to get all of the bubbles off the top. All of that stuff, that's what makes this go pretty cloudy. And then I always put it once, and I do lose a little bit. So it depends on if you want more volume, but it lasts less long, or less volume, but it lasts for a long time. I put it through a coffee strainer once to get all the stuff. So now I have this really pretty, very, very clear raspberry syrup. That's what I like, that's what I want, and thus we are here. We need about, now, Charles H. Baker calls for about ½ an ounce. I personally think a touch more than ½ an ounce of raspberry syrup is called for. But if you are looking for sort of a more bold lime flavor, hey, you're in a good spot. Put in ½ an ounce. I personally like 3/4 of an ounce, or maybe like a short 3/4 of an ounce of some raspberry syrup, sugar syrup. That's going to give us our pink hue. It's going to give us our pink hue, and we will have hue ready to go. Okay, we need to make this. Let's see if can I grab it without, nope, not that one, that one, there we go. This is gin. This is our friend Gin. We, because we are in the fall of fizz, are going to absolutely be putting some dents into our gin bottles. We are looking currently for a gin sponsor. If any of you know a gin that is just looking to sponsor a show, I don't know why you haven't told me about it yet, but if you find one, let me know. We need to find this guy right here. This is our friend Martin Miller. We're getting down to the end of it. We're going to have to go buy another bottle of Martin Miller. We need 2 ounces of a London Dry or an equivalent gin. Excellent. Okay. Now, because we weren't there with Charles H. Baker when he and his gentlemen were on their companionships, we don't exactly know whether or not this ingredient made it in, whether it didn't make it in, whether it was just something that Charles H. Baker thought maybe should go in here because he's seen other great fizzes that have orange water in it. But it does show up in a lot of the recipes that we've seen. So we're going to go ahead and throw in 2 dashes of some orange flower water. Orange flower water should dash very slowly. It should actually just dash in drops. That's what you're looking for. That's what we want. Smells awfully good. Smells awfully good. Shawnee Pannaberry keeps getting gin makers following me. I should get on the Instagram. Oh, Shawnee, I forgot to tell you. I read your DM. I will get back to you. Seems really good. If you want to know what we're talking, if people don't know what we're talking about, I can tell you. Seems like a good idea. I think you should do it. That's where we'll go from there. But get your money, get your money, Playboy. There we go. This is an egg, the incredible edible egg. If you do not like egg in your cocktail, I don't seek out egg in my cocktail. The same way that when I see maraschino liqueurs in a cocktail, I say, ooh, that sounds really good, and I think I might be into it. When I see egg on a recipe, I look for all the other ingredients just to see maybe the rest of it's good. But the egg is doing very little for me. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1 egg white into a different mug or into a different shaker. There we go. Oh, boy. That is 1 egg white. We will remind our friend Kyle. Oh, dang it. Kyle, I have egg on my hand. Will you please, oh please, bring me a towel. I don't know how I didn't bring a towel in here. I knew I'd be having egg white, and now I'm just going to sit here like an idiot for a minute until I get a towel. Kyle, just whenever you get a chance. How you guys feeling? Feeling good? I got egg on my hand. I keep reaching back and I'm wiping on my pants. And that's no way to be. Not good to wipe egg white on your pants. Eventually I'm going to go sit down places. Thank you. Good throw. Appreciate you. Much, much better. Give this a wipe too. The whole thing a wipe. All right. We are now in a good spot. We are... Trader Joe's pasteurized egg whites can get 1 over the ick factor. Let's do it. Let's get that done. Okay, we have our egg white in here. Right in here. We're going to give this a big fat... Ooh, we're going to give this a big fat dry shake. If you don't know what a dry shake is yet, oh, you should tune in to more episodes of the Fall of Fizz, because this right here that we're doing, this is a dry shake. There is no ice in here. Now, obviously, everything else in here is pretty wet. I mean, I don't know if you'd consider an egg white wet, but everything else in here is wet. Or at least everything in here will make you, I don't know, is water wet? Or does water make things, oh, we don't have to get philosophical on it. Anyway, all of this stuff in here is liquid. So it's tough to say that this is a dry shake. When we say dry shake, we just mean no ice added to it, no extra water. All we're doing is really foaming this up in order to then be able to add our water in what we call the wet shake. When we wet shake something, we want to grab, especially when we're dealing with egg white or cream or anything that we really want to foam right up, we are looking for a large agitator cube, possibly 2. We want to drop this guy in there. There we go. And then we are going to give this a much bigger shake. The more the larger the ice cube is in here, the less melting you will get, but you will also get more force in creating the foam, right? Bigger cube has less surface area, strangely, than a bunch of cubes that are the same volume, but are smaller individually. Does that make sense? Maybe. All right, big shake. Here we go. Ready? We gotta have this fizz, baby. We gotta have this fizz. Ooh, it's got that little pink hue to it. That's what I'm looking for. We're gonna grab one of our fizz glasses. We are going to, since there is lime in here, lime peels in here, we're gonna put our Hawthorne strainer. We're gonna pour this guy right in there. Look at that pink hue. Oh my goodness gracious. Perfect. Seems a little short. Obviously, this is a fizz, so we have a little bit of room for our soda water here. This is our Mineragua soda water. Any good? It's okay. As long as it makes that little sound, we should be okay with it. Obviously, if you can get a fresh soda water every time, or take your Maserati to the Whole Foods, buy your soda water, you should be good. We're gonna go ahead and put in 2 ounces of soda water, not into here, not into here, into here. This is where all of our stuff is. We want the rest of that stuff in here. So go ahead and put in 2 full ounces of some soda water into the tin you just shook in. Touch more. And this is where the fizz becomes annoying. We have to let this sit for a second. We have to let the fizz sit. We have to let all of this separate. We can see that there's liquid forming here, but we want that foam on top. So I figured, whilst we were letting this separate, we could have a little discussion. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring this up. This right here is known as the Bird of Paradise plant. If you've not seen a Bird of Paradise plant, you probably do not live in the Southern California, Nevada, Arizona, the Southwest region, or I don't know where else these things grow. I know they grow around here. I've seen them all over the Southwest. And it is apparently somewhat controversial. Why is it called the Bird of Paradise plant? Well, my producer and I completely disagree. Allow me to state my case for why this plant is called the Bird of Paradise. I believe that it looks like a bird of paradise. That is what I believe. I will show you exactly why I think that by helping you out with some visual cues. If we were to see this as a bird of paradise, we would of course put its eye, we would of course put its eye right here. This would be its eye. It's a big eye, cute eye, and it's looking this way. That's its little pupil right there. This right here is, of course, its mouth. Give that a little smile there. These up here, these are its wings. Give it big wings up here. This is one of its wings right there. That's the further wing. These are going to be your closer wings. This is how this little bird flies right there. If this bird was, of course, to have feet, the feet would go under its belly right here. So the feet would come right down here. It would have its little feet hanging out down here. And it would be feeding on this little flower that lives inside of the plant. Let's just say that's a little flower. If he had a thought, let's just say he had a thought, he had like a thought bubble. The bubble would go up here somewhere. He would be thinking something like, I don't know, let's put in what the bird would be thinking. He would be thinking, I am normal, normal, sized for a bird. That's what he'd be thinking, because of course this makes the bird a very normal sized bird. This is the size that we would see most birds at. Obviously, there are some exceptions, but this is what this bird would be thinking. It is proper size for a bird. It looks like what we would call a bird of paradise. It has wings and a back tail. That's what I think it looks like. Now, of course, that's not what everybody thinks it looks like. I will do my very best to represent this. Some people think that the eye, not here, but is more here. Oh, let's put it on there. And then we'll put this here. They think that the eye is closer to here. Why are you not drawing? Even this doesn't want it to draw. Oh, there we go. The eye is closer to here, and it's looking this way. The mouth, of course, ends up being right here. This is the mouth. Its legs are unrepresented in this picture, but this would be neck. Let's just give it... might as well tell you what we're talking about. This would be here, neck. Neck. We'll move this over this way. Yeah, right there. Perfect. So this is neck. Right there. There we go. Neck. Right there. Now, that begs the question, what the heck is all this? Well, apparently, the people that subscribe to this theory believe that this is just hair. This is just big bird hair. You know, it has like a big mohawk situation. This is what this bird is doing. Now, if this bird was thinking anything, he would be thinking something like, I don't know. Let's just say he would be thinking like, I'm an A-B-O-M M-I-N-A-T-I-O-N. I'm an abomination. That's what he'd be thinking. Oh my God, I do not fit the way that any bird looks. Even the strange ostrich birds, I don't look like those birds. I am an abomination. That's what this bird would be thinking. I mean, if we could just get into these birds' brains for a second, it would be thinking, oh my God, what is wrong with me? Why do I have this weird hair sticking up here? And where's my body? Maybe that's what we'd be thinking. And where is my body? Yeah, that's what it'd be thinking. So, you know, that's my thought on this. That's what this bird would be thinking. The other bird, of course, we remember from earlier that bird would be thinking, I am normal size for a bird, but this one would be thinking, you know, I'm an abomination and where's my body? So these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts on this. 1 second. So I haven't been looking at chat. Cause you sound like Christopher Walken when you since you got more cowbell. Let's see. Wow, so far, okay, let's see what we got. Oh, thanks. Kush is right, but I never saw that way my whole life. Artistic folks. Yeah, artistic. Kush, you are making a backwards bird. Nope. Let's bring it back up. We're just going to let this sit for a second. Definitely not a backwards bird. This, get rid of this. This is the way the bird goes. The bird is feeding on this plant. That's why I even indicated there's a flower down here. That is what the bird is doing. So it's not a backwards bird. That is a very, very normal word. Debbie Clark says she sees the opposite. A preposterous theory. Is this a male versus female left brain, right brain thing? I don't know what exactly this is. Nope, the flower is just the bird's head. The beak is looking right with the plumage at the top of his head. No, that is incorrect. A normal-sized bird with the longest head. It is not a long head. I don't mean to argue with all of you, but the head is right here. You see how this? Plant? Let me just. I'll draw it out. Don't worry about this. I got this, guys. This is the beak right here. That's the beak, and that's the beak. That's a beak. That's just a big beak. It's one long beak. I don't understand why people are complaining about the small inconsistency of that when this skinny little neck and a gargantuan head with so much plumage on here is what we are arguing for. I don't think we are understanding this. Okay, I always saw it this way. I don't know which way that is, but Jen, you're the one that's correct. Says, oh, let me bring this down. It says Tiki Tom Hubbard. 100% agree with Jen. Kush, just admit you're wrong and move on. This is not a hill to die on. I refuse to believe. I'm unable. I'm unable to let this one go. There is absolutely. I'm just gonna bring it up one more time. This is ridiculous. This actually looks like a bird. That actually, you would look at that and say that is absolutely a bird. This is a dinosaur. I don't even know what this is. This is something completely different. And what kind of strange paradise are people living in where you have that absolutely insane creature living with you in paradise? Well, while we were doing that, you guys can see that this cocktail has absolutely separated. We now have a beautiful foam on top. That is what we have. So now we're going to take the rest of this. We're going to pour this right here down the middle so that we can get a nice, lovely fill with all the rest of our ingredients. If you want to go a touch above, you can, but we don't have cream in here. So it should just come right up to the top. You have a perfect cocktail that has a lovely gradation. It starts at the top with this very white foam. It ends down here with our lovely pink, and there we have it. Will we be able to stand up a straw in here? We will find out in just a moment. I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I don't know about this cocktail about standing a straw up. The egg white isn't. Oh, never mind. Absolutely. Nope. Let's switch between these two. Absolutely, you can. Notice he stopped reading comments. Yeah, I want so badly to believe I want so badly to believe that people have logic about this. That clearly, this is nothing. This is not a bird. Also, sorry, I'm going to bring it back here. Also, how many birds are in each of these plants? How many large-headed birds are actually in each of these plants? 12? 12 birds in each Bird of Paradise plant? That's insane with their long necks and their no bodies. Obviously, many small birds can live in one plant. We're gonna look at it one more time, and then I promise I'm gonna let you guys go. But this is insane. I mean, this is the only possible way to see a Bird of Paradise. It has 2 wings up at the top. It has its full bird little body, and it's eating like a cute, small Bird of Paradise bird. Oh, how do I get rid of this? There we go. Anyway, all right. Well, we have our Bird of Paradise drink. This is what we made. Listen, can I say that I'm a little disappointed? I am. I'm a little disappointed. Let's see how the cocktail tastes, though. It's freaking delicious. Super simple. We didn't do much to it. We didn't do much to like the original gin fizz with the lemon. We switched it out for lime, so it does have a little bit more paradise feel to it. We kept the gin in there, a little bit of orange flower water, really nice. And then find yourself a really good homemade framboise or raspberry recipe. That's what you got. I've always seen it Jen's way, but like Kush is better. I'll never look at another one the same way. And I will never convince DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Kush Tucky Derby, apparently. Yeah, Davey Virtue, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that I can accept the, I don't think I can accept the plant offer from Bon Bon, because if we grew one of those back at the house, I would never be able to get over it. I would be unable to get over it. Okay. I've kept you guys for way too long. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I appreciate all the support. Honestly, you know, people will say, like, would you rather be rich or famous? And the right answer is, of course, rich. You'd rather be rich. Being famous without rich, there is no greater hell on earth. Now that I think about it, I would much rather be doing Jen's job. Jen, who just blindly gets the support of my entire audience without almost ever showing up on screen. We just love Jen so much, even though she's not putting herself up doing this. She's not having people tell her that they see the big bird. It's not a big bird. Never mind. Yes, but I'll never see it Kush's way. I'll look at one of those plants again, but I'll never look at one of those plants without feeling conflicted. Thank you. At least I've ruined your lives a little bit. I feel like I've done it. Good evening, Bootopia. You're gonna want to go back and watch some of the show because we have some new lore. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Get back to whatever you were doing, and Bon, good luck getting rid of that plant. Do not, I repeat, do not send it here. We do not want that plant. All right, Kyle, you're gonna have to meditate tonight. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, Jen says she loves you guys. Lord. I've ruined these flowers for everybody. Okay, I will see you guys some other time. As always, what do we always say? The thing's broken. Bye-bye.
No. I know.
Okay, but did you take a picture of the last sucker?
How about pretty please?
Oh please, oh please, oh please.
Could you wire me a bus ticket?
What?
Could you wire me a bus ticket? I'll pay you back honest.